everyone. This is Tim. This is New York Giants Straight Talk. Oh, we got a great show today. At least I think we do. Because you know what? I love doing it. So any show I do, in my mind, is a great show. I want to talk about the Giants' 2023 season. 2022 was a great season. It was an unexpected season. It had its ups. It had its ups. It had its downs. It had its excitement. You had the big playoff win in Minnesota. You had the, I'm not going to say bad loss in Philadelphia, because I don't really think anyone expected us to win that game in Philadelphia. But it was a great season. It was a great stepping stone for the Giants. It was a great stepping stone for Joe Schoen and Brian Daboll. Brian Daboll, of course, captures Coach of the Year. But you know what? That season's over. It's now time to enter into 2023. We're still in the throes of free agency. We are still rocketing towards the draft, but we have certain pitfalls in 2023 that we're going to need to try to avoid. My son is a big gamer, and he's got a lot of apps on his iPad and his phone, and I was laughing because I was scrolling through them because we were just hanging out, and I found the old Atari game Pitfall. It's basically you're taking your little guy and you're running him through the jungle, and he's going over all the pitfalls, he's going over the alligators, he's dodging the bats, he's doing everything that needs to be done to get to the end. I've never made it to the end in Pitfall, but hopefully the Giants can avoid some of these traps in 2023, and we're going to talk about these traps. It's not just about drafting well. It's not just about free agency. It's not just about ball security, but I want to talk something seriously for a moment. I want to talk about your internet security. I'd like to thank our new partner, Aura, for coming on in, and you know what? Anyone can find anything about anyone on the internet, including your legal name, your personal emails, your home address, your phone numbers, heck, even your relatives. I mean, how scary is the internet at times? This information, though, is accessible because data brokers basically profit from selling this stuff. How many times you get those robocalls? How many times you get the telemarketers? How many times you get the spammers? Anyone else that wants to learn information for you can find it. That's why I'm excited about Aura. Aura will identify these data breaches, or I should say these data brokers, that are exposing your information, automatically submit and opt out of your request on your behalf. It can even opt out of junk mail. How many pieces of junk mail do you get a day? I get at least 30. Use my link below, aura.com /Big Blue. Try it for 2 weeks. See how many data brokers are sharing your information. I'm going to say this. I'm embarrassed because I went and did it, and there was a lot. Also, you're going to see a little QR code. You can scan the QR code as well. It'll take you right there. It's aura.com /Big Blue. And you can just see how this works. Aura will also monitor your emails, your passwords. I mean, it goes out into the dark web. Do you want to go out in the dark web and see how you are being exposed, and gives you recommendations on what to do? It also has an app that features a VPN, password manager, real-time credit and identity, theft monitoring, internet parental controls. That's a big thing for me. And it just protects your devices from malware. You're going to be shocked when you try it and see how much information is out there on the web. Again, that's aura.com /Big Blue. Try it for free for 2 weeks. You can also scan the QR code on the bottom of the screen. You won't be sorry. Now let's talk about the G-Men. Oh, there's just so much going on right now. There's so many moving parts. There's so many things that they are going to have to potentially try to avoid. Now, the easiest thing to talk about avoiding is injuries. Think about it. While the Giants, the last few seasons, have had multitudes of injuries, while this season was no different, it was a little bit better. We didn't have all the deep tissue problems. We did have the ACL tears here and there occasionally. You had your other injuries that happened, but hopefully the new turf will turn around and change all that. I do get concerned because I think the turf is the same turf that they use in Los Angeles, the one that OBJ tore his knee on. But you have to sit there and hope that the Giants have a better season with health. Their rookie class in 2022 at certain times could have been the walking wounded. Not the walking dead, the walking wounded. Because of the fact that, I mean, these things happen. I know Beavers went down preseason. I was there for that game. I showed you the video after the player got hurt because I was standing on the sidelines. You have to hope that 2023's class not only makes the team, contributes, but stays healthy. You also have to be concerned, and the Giants have to avoid expectations. It's another pitfall that they have to be careful about. Expectations for this team, especially in New York, are going to be high. They're going to be through the roof. Even though the schedule is going to be tighter, even though the schedule is going to be harder, even though we're going to play better teams than we did last year. We had our issues against good teams last year. But it's going to get worse this year. We have a harder schedule this year. We don't have a last place schedule this year. So if you take a look at this, you have to manage expectations. I'm not saying the Giants are going to win only 6 games. I'm not saying they're going to win 14 games. I am saying that Joe Schoen and Brian Daboll need to manage expectations, not only for their staff, but for their players. And I think they do a really good job of that. I really do. Because of the fact that if you take a look at what they have done and what they have managed to do just last year, Daboll always talked about the fact that we're always playing the game in front of us. It's not what happened last week. It's about the week in front of us. And Joe Schoen, like I said, we always talk about it. He seems to be protecting his cap space like it's his newborn baby. Like he understands that he has to hold on to that. He has to, because he's going to reach a point where he has so much of it and is in such a good spot and has drafted well over maybe 2-3 seasons that he has the building blocks that he can augment it with free agency, with that salary cap, and not put the Giants in salary cap heck, but keep them as a perennial winner in the NFC East. So managing expectations is another pitfall they're going to have to avoid. I would like to say they're going to have to avoid the rookie-sophomore slump, but honestly, I don't really think Kayvon Thibodeau and Evan Neal really played up to any type of expectations. Kayvon Thibodeau played better towards the end of the season. He had a good 3-4 game stretch. You can't take that away from him, but he was not consistent. The same with Evan Neal. Evan Neal has to find consistency, and I think one of the pitfalls that we're going to have to worry about right now is those guys from 2022 have to find their consistency. Have to be able to play at a, I'm not saying at a Pro Bowl level, but they have to play at a quality starter level at their position to help the Giants move forward in 2023. That's what they're going to have to do. The other thing that the other pitfall we have to avoid, and again, it kind of goes hand in hand with managing expectations, is understanding where we stand in the NFC East. Where we are in the dichotomy of this division. You know, right now that that Philadelphia's the cream of the crop. I still think Dallas is a little bit ahead of us, but I definitely think we are better than Washington. Because you have to be better than Washington, because right now Washington has Sam Howell at quarterback. So we have to understand where we stand in the East and how we can improve, because it's not the most important. One of the most important things about, especially in the NFL, is winning your divisional games. That is something we were not good at last year. We need to find a way to match up better in our own division. And a lot of ways to do it, again, is that's going to be managing expectations with inside our own division and how we can match up against these teams and win these games. Because it's important to win home games, but it's more important in my mind to win your divisional games. We've seen it before. We saw it when the Eagles made the playoffs at 7-9. It was the divisional games that pushed them over and moved them forward, and they solly forward. Another pitfall. I love it. I love it. Another pitfall we're going to have to avoid is the fact that we have to hope. And it's not really a hope, but I think we have to understand the fact that we are going to need to change the way we play offense. Yes, I think we're still going to be a run-heavy team. I still think that's going to be there. You're going to have Saquon Barkley, but you're still having the idea of you have to change the identity of this team a little bit offensively, and I think it would be a pitfall if we didn't. Only because of the fact that the offense was so simplistic. And people seem to like to forget that by week 13, a lot of people wanted to get rid of Mike Kafka. They wanted to have Brian Daboll start calling the plays because of the fact that it was too vanilla. But I think they were going vanilla because they were trying to manage the clock and win with defense, which is a winning combination. But it's time to open the window. It's time to put your foot on the gas. It's time to feel the need for speed. Can I find that? Can I find it? 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 And the answer is no, I can't find it. Rob on the stream last week was like, Oh, here it is.
I feel the need for speed.
We need to have the need for speed. Well, I was saying Rob was on the Rob R0B was on the stream with us, and he's gonna be with us every Sunday. He was making fun of me because I have 150 buttons and none of them are labeled. But we need to change the way we play. We need to play faster. We need to play with an urgency. We need to play with more of an understanding that we need to go. And I've said it before. There's a word in the dictionary that we need to understand. It's called vertical. We need to go vertical. You have Waller, you have Campbell, you brought back Darius Slayton. You're probably going to grab a number 1 wide receiver. Try to get a high-end wide receiver early on in the draft. You need to open it up. The defenses are going to collapse on the Giants and Daniel Jones vis-a-vis the running game. It's not going to be Michael Vick-esque where you put a spy, sitting there. You spy with Daniel Jones as the linebacker. No, but they are going to understand that you manage containment with Jones. Don't let him step up, because when he steps up, it gives him the ability to run. The league has figured that out. It is time to throw him a curveball. It is time to go vertical. Another thing that another pitfall we're going to need to avoid is our defense against the run. We're going to go up against much better teams. We have to hope that Kayvon Thibodeau, that Bobby Okereke, and whomever else we bring in are going to understand the nuances of maintaining your assignment and holding your edge on the outside position against a run and pushing everything back into the middle of the field. We have to manage that expectation because of the fact that is a huge pitfall. If we cannot maintain and manage the run and understand we cannot let them go off tackle left, off tackle right, go up the middle, then go over the top. We can't allow that this year. What they need to do is you need to have Bobby, you need to have Kayvon understand your assignment, understand that you push that play towards the middle of the field, and then you hope that
King of the almost sack
and Dexter Lawrence more Leonard Williams, have better seasons in reference to stopping the run and stopping the run from allowing it to get into the second level. Because what the idea should be, you should be able to hold your edge on the outside and have that run pushed to the inside, which is going to be hopefully the strength of this Giants defense. That is another pitfall the Giants need to avoid, and Brian Daboll and Joe Schoen need to avoid. They also need to avoid the willingness or the thought process of pushing contracts or cap space into 2024, 2025. They need to, and I think Shane already is doing this. They need to hold off on moving Leonard Williams or moving some of his money into 2024, 25, because they already have a dead cap year for Leonard Williams in 2024. They need to hold off on that thought process of moving some of Adoree Jackson's money. There's really 4 contracts on the Giants roster that really are screwing this team right now. And the idea is this. They need to just hold tight this year. Hold tight. Don't screw with your cap space and just allow these contracts to play themselves out, and you will be a better team in 2024 and 2025. I've said it a million times before. Joe Schoen is playing long ball. The coach plays for the season. Shane needs to play for 5 years down the road, and I think that's what he's doing right now. But he's got to understand the importance of that. The last pitfall, or one of the big pitfalls I think we need to avoid in 2023, is Saquon Barkley. You could say what you want about Saquon Barkley. You could say what you want about Daniel Jones. I made the comparison this before. Dak Prescott early in his career had a all-world Ezekiel Elliott, and he excelled. When Dak has a good running game, he excels. Daniel Jones right now after 2022 seems like he's going to be the same way. You give him a proven running game, he will excel and he may not do all the things that Dak does. He may not do all the big things, but he will excel if he's got that safety net behind him. Here's the problem though. If you screw with Saquon Barkley, if you screw with his contract, if you piss him off, it could be bad for the season. I'm not worried. I'm not hyped going in with a rookie at running back. I'm not hyped with Matt carrying the mail. I'm hyped to the fact that if you give I figure Saquon Barkley's got two good years left in. 2 to 3 good years left in. Can't even talk. Maybe even more. And I think that we need to understand you don't screw with that. You keep him happy. If I would offer him the $12 million, I would offer him 12.5 again. 12.5 million. He already started playing at a little over 10 Offer them security. And I love it because people are like, well, his agent really screwed him. We don't know what the guaranteed money was for Saquon Barkley. We have no idea. The agent might not have been screwed him. The Giants may have been screwed. And I understand this. You have a running back. Running backs you can get later on draft. You don't have to pay them exorbitant amount of money. But $12 million in my mind for a running back who is going to be probably 60% of your offense is not a bad way to go. It's a good way to go. And I think that's where you have to look at this. And I think those are going to be the issues that we have. I think those are going to be the problems. And I think those are going to be the pitfalls. Oh, wait. That we need to avoid in 2023. We got a lot of fun stuff coming up. Don't forget to join these Sunday Giant stream with me and R0B, also named Rob. We're going to do that every Sunday leading up to the season, leading up to the draft. Have a good, like I said, have a lot of fun stuff coming down the pike. Have a lot of good stuff coming down the pike. We're going to have our out of context segment. We're bringing back on the mic segment. So we're going to do a lot of fun things. Hopefully you can join in. And again, we want to thank our partner, Aura, for coming in here and offering the peace of mind and the security that you need just to be on the internet, just maybe to watch YouTube at times.